Larry King Now, funny man Katt Williams.
First, Larry, I'd be remiss if I didn't say what a great pleasure this is to be with you. For a lifetime, you've been an exposer of substance. And my life was not going to be complete until I got to your table. I'm a diehard comedy supporter. I take seriously the fact that comedy is the bastion of Hollywood, that if it were not for our genre, that it could not exist. It brings so much joy to the world. In order to be involved in the things these people are allegedly or actually involved in, it means you have to have a lot of cojones. You have to be willing to do things that most of us would go, you don't do that. It's not a big deal to ride in on a horse named Sassy as a pedophile.
Plus, secret talent.
Clairvoyant.
You're clairvoyant.
Yes, sir.
Psychic.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. All next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Our guest is Katt Williams, stand-up comedian, actor, rapper, singer. Katt's comedy specials have sold out arenas across the globe, and he's been featured on networks like BET and HBO. On the big screen, we've seen him in films like Friday After Next, Norbit, and First Sunday, just to name a few. Katt is currently in the middle of his new stand-up comedy tour called The Great American Tour, a version of which will be coming to Netflix on January 16th, 2018. He is also set to star alongside Ed Helms and Owen Wilson in Father Figures. That much-awaited film is due out December 22nd of this year. Katt, thanks for coming. You're on the Great American Tour. What topics are you covering in this Great American Tour?
First, Larry, I'd be remiss if I didn't say what a great pleasure this is to be with you. I think you need to know that for a lifetime, you've been an exposer of substance. And my life was not going to be complete until I got to your table, because I've spent so long trusting your opinion of people and things and situations. So,
thank you. I'm honored.
Have to start with that. As far as the Great America Tour goes, this had to be written last year, and the tour prior to that was Conspiracy Theory. So we put out some things in that tour that we thought might happen, and this tour is just a reminder that no matter what America goes through, that's part of what makes us great. It's not...
So it's very topical.
I try to be, if possible.
You write the whole thing out?
Mm-hmm.
It's no ad-libbing?
That's not true. I write it out, and then it's a constant race on the 100-city tour to get it as sharp as it can possibly be before we put it out to the masses.
Is the Trump administration easy fodder for comedians?
Not easier fodder. More, but not easier. As comedians, we like things to be on the fringes. And this is not a fringe conversation. This is a very mainstream conversation. And so it...
In other words, it's a parody of itself?
Indeed. Indeed.
So what do you parody when he's a parody?
There you go. And because he understands the rules of engagement, that's why he involved himself. And that's why he was sure he would win. If you build yourself on a philosophy that most people are stupid and then you win, it's not a lot of win in that.
In your act, do you run into many Trump supporters?
I don't feel a different way about a Trump supporter than I do a Clinton supporter. We're all Americans. There are justifiable reasons why people voted for the guy they voted for. And there are justifiable reasons for why they didn't vote the other way. And when we continue to not address what people's genuine concerns are because of how they look or what we have already preconceived about them, then we lose as a nation.
Do you sing in your act?
Never.
No. But you are a singer and a rapper too, right?
Well, you are the things you try. It's just what modicum of success you're having. But stand-up is the lifeblood, and so I don't mix anything with it.
Would you say it was unbelievable history the other night when a white man elected in Alabama on the Democratic ticket in his victory speech quoted Martin Luther King Jr.?
No. In order to be involved in the things these people are allegedly or actually involved in, it means you have to have a lot of cojones. You have to be willing to do things that most of us would go, you don't do that. And so because they lack that filter, it's not a big deal to ride in on a horse named Sassy as a pedophile.
But he lost.
Yes. Yes.
And the winner quoted Martin Luther King.
Yes, but understand, this is not a right side, wrong side situation. This guy being ridiculously wrong does not make the other guy more right.
So how did you look at the election?
Like a great American. We are America no matter who the president has been. Were there good things about the guy? Yeah. Reagan, Clinton, Bush, these were not bums. These guys tried as hard as they could, and each of them had a different plan and a way they were going to attack things, but we are not our country. Our country is us. So whoever the president is, that directly affects us, and yet it does not. We're a great country because of the people involved.
So we rise above it no matter who is president?
Naturally.
Except we're affected by who is president.
Absolutely. But we have to address why, and until we address why and keep trying to act like a portion of our rural population has a different thought process than the urban one, no, these are not the case. But they don't know that because they're never there in real life.
Has your comedy changed over the years?
Yes, sir. The worse my personal life is, the better my stand-up career is.
Because you've had some trouble in your personal life.
Well, you know, it's not all been pleasant, but the effect on my product has not been adverse. So I've learned as much from the losses.
So in other words, if you've had a run-in with and were arrested or something,
right,
and you're on stage the next night,
yeah,
that makes the next night better?
No, it's that I'm an experimental person, and so a lot of times in order for me to present the case, I had to do a real-life experiment. My experiment found that wherever I was always the guilty party no matter what. And nothing happens to anybody. As soon as we remove me from the situation is better. And so that was something I was trying to present on behalf of Black people, and I got lost in my own experiment and fell victim to it. But these are the hassles.
Next, we're going to take a look at Katt Williams' incredible career, including how he got started in the comedy business. Plus, what are we going to get from his new film, Father Figures? Stay with us on Larry King Now. Katt Williams, we're going to see him in Father Figures, due December 22nd. The Great American Tour is in progress. How many states are you going to?
We're at 100 already, so we'll be resetting soon.
Well, we only got 50 states. You're going to hit every state?
Well, you try to hit every state, all the major cities in the state.
Okay, you've had a successful career. Is stand-up, you've had a successful film career. Is stand-up still number one?
I believe stand-up will always be number one just because it cuts out the least amount of variables. It's really just the conversation between myself and the fan base with nothing in between, so I value that, but I am in love with television and film as well.
Were you a funny kid?
Not that I remember. My father was hilarious. I had a funny family. I just loved funny. I didn't ever remember anybody saying that was a career choice for me or I had that potential.
You grew up in Cincinnati?
I was born in Cincinnati, but primarily raised in Dayton.
Ohio?
Ohio, mm-hmm.
You remember your first stand-up?
Oh, yes, vividly.
Where was it?
It was in a place called Ruskin, Florida, and I was out with some friends who were older than me, and they decided they were going to a club afterwards, and I'm the youngest in the group. Everybody's of age, 21 or over, and I'm not. I'm 16. Nobody knows that. I'm already away from home. This is a big deal. We're in line, and I'm realizing I'm going to get here, not have the ID, and have to answer for this with my group. And then people are going past the line, and they're not standing in line. They're telling this guy, I'm a comedian, and they're getting right in. So I join that line to be told, okay, you're number 5. That doesn't mean anything to me. I get in the club, and I find out this is a comedy competition, and I am comedian number 5, and you have to do 5 minutes. And so I got up, and I just talked about being the only black guy in a white town and what that was like for 5 minutes. And I won, but I won $25. And I remember thinking, I was pretty good at that. Too bad it doesn't pay anything. And I didn't do it again for 6 years.
That's a great story. Your new film, Father Figures, is getting solid reviews. You play a hitchhiker?
Yes.
Is it a funny movie?
Hilarious. The cast is
You got
Ed Helms and Owen Wilson. Like, you don't need anything else for a comedy. That will get the job done. The fact that there's Glenn Close and J.K. Simmons and Christopher Walken and Ving Rhames and Terry Bradshaw is overkill.
Christopher Walken's enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you have fun doing that?
So much fun. A great set. Great director. Great script. It's rare when everything lines up.
First film in a while, right?
About 48 months.
Do you like playing someone else?
I appreciated the fact that I really had to be an actor on this. A lot of times as a stand-up comedian, the easiest thing to do is to bring that persona to a character, and yet on this one it was necessary to turn him all the way down to 0 and then maneuver. So it was really good to be able to act. Yeah, well done.
You've always played comedic roles. Would you want to try and tackle a serious role?
Yes. Drama is always an important thing, but I'm a diehard comedy supporter. I take seriously the fact that comedy is the bastion of Hollywood, that if it were not for our genre, that it could not exist. It brings so much joy to the world. It is not to be viewed as a stepping stone. So I'd like to stay in comedy until I finally feel like I'm always doing a great job.
After the break, funny fan encounters, guilty pleasures, childhood celebrity crushes, all in a game of If You Only Knew with Katt Williams. Father Figures will be out December 22nd, and I'll be there that day to see it. Stay with us. Back with Katt Williams. The Great American Tour is in progress right now, and the film Father Figures, we saw that great clip, will be out December 22nd. We play a little game of If You Only Knew. You do not have to answer them, Katt.
Excellent.
It's not a court, but we'd appreciate your answers.
Excellent.
Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Kim Fields.
Secret talent?
Clairvoyant.
You're clairvoyant?
Yes, sir.
Psychic?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Person you'd trade places with for a day?
That I would trade places with for a day? No one.
No one. Weirdest job you ever had?
Doing missionary work in Haiti, I was able to go to villages and teach mothers that if they would put salt in their water, their children wouldn't die from diarrhea. And so I spent a year and a half in Haiti saving babies' lives.
Working for who?
Working for the good cause, Larry.
I mean, that was a job, though? Someone paid you?
No. This was a...
volunteer?
This was a volunteer for a nonprofit.
Guilty pleasure?
Silence and the love of a good woman.
Biggest risk you ever took?
Adopting children.
How many have you adopted?
6.
6. Best compliment you ever got?
You're good enough.
What never fails to make you laugh?
People smiling.
Worst piece of advice you ever got?
Don't ever change.
Something you wish you were better at?
Dealing with liars.
Best perk of being a celebrity? There's no perk to be. Come on, Katt. You get online to nightclub, you're going to perform, you're going to go in first.
Yeah, none of that's because of celebrity, as you know, Mr. King.
Who would you like to be stranded on a desert island with?
An excellent swimmer.
That's the best I've heard yet.
Thank you.
Strangest fan encounter.
I met a fan, and she explained to me very definitively that she was my biggest fan. And I explained to her that couldn't be the case. I've slept with most of my biggest fans. I tell her, she wouldn't, everything I said, she was like, no, it's really me. And then she reveals her leg, and she has a life-size, it's almost a tattoo of me that she has on her leg. And I then conceded that she was my biggest fan.
Did you take it any further?
No, out of respect for her and myself, I did.
Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't. And I found out, I was always wondering how our God could have been so thrown off by a story of a tree and fruit. And then I found out that that's not the case at all. Adam was God's son, which means Eve was his daughter. And if they have sex, that ruins everything. And that's what happened. And that's a piece right there.
Excellent observation.
Thank you.
Tell me something we don't know about you.
Secretly, I'm 6'1".
All right, where on the tour are you now?
Finishing, just officially wrapping up with the special, getting ready to go to the next tour, and then just filmed a movie called 2 Minutes of Fame and a movie called Meet the Blacks 2.
So 2 comedies coming?
Yes, sir, 3 in a row.
And the special is on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
On January 16th. In our final moments, Katt will answer your questions from social media. Don't click away on this edition of Larry King Now. We're back with Katt Williams. The Netflix special airs January 16th. Father Figures opens December 22nd. He's got a lot on his platter. We have a couple of social media questions for you. Istvan Arvai on Facebook. Do you feel like Growing Pains accurately reflects the nature of some of the flashier troubles you've had in your personal or public life?
Even if the answer was no, I would say yes. This is a brilliant question from a brilliant person.
So does it reflect?
I will say yes.
Yes. Corey Anderson on the Larry King Now blog. Is there any comedian you would say your style of comic mimics?
I certainly hope not. Most of the great comedians were great comedians before I started, and I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't a carbon copy of anybody else, even if that meant I wouldn't be as successful. So I hope I'm an original.
When you look at other stand-up comics who came before you, who stands out? Who do you say, wow?
All of them. I'm really in awe.
Talking about Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, Alan King.
We're talking about those, and yet we're also talking about Mitch Hedberg and Dave Chappelle and Martin Lawrence, and we're talking about a lot of comics, Richard Jenney, and I didn't have I wanted to see who was the greatest, and I wanted to soak that in, and so I was honored to be able to come behind those guys.
Corey also asks, what do you do when you don't get a laugh?
Well, it's difficult as a clairvoyant, but I don't put myself out there to be all things to all people, so I don't assume that everything I think funny, other people will think is funny, but I'm always after more than one laugh. I'm in a comedy conversation, so...
Do you ever have off nights?
Yes, sir, all the time. And the job is to be as funny on those nights.
And that's a struggle, isn't it?
Oh, it's always, yeah, always.
Got to drive you a little nuts. When it
Not if
worked
that's where you were.
If it worked last night,
Right.
you got to say to yourself, why isn't it working tonight?
Yes, but the true answer is you're not who you were last night. And you better try to get closer to where you were last night. And once you figure that out, remember, those are not the people from last night.
So it's you.
Always. Always.
Melanie Swift on the Larry King Now blog. Who is your dream co-star?
On the male side, Denzel Washington, and on the other side, Dame Judi Dench.
And Peter Roberts on Facebook. Your favorite way to relax at home?
I like to read a book in the hot tub.
Where is home?
I have a hat in California and a hat in Georgia.
Georgia, where in Georgia?
Atlanta.
And in L.A.?
Right here in good old Malibu.
Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
You're traveling a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
You're always on an airplane?
Yes, sir.
Do you get used to that?
No. No, it's an unnatural thing. The air is unnatural. That many people on a trip is unnatural.
Strange to be flying, ain't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's great. It's great. It's the best way of getting there, and it's its own separate environment. You just have to deal with it.
Except for turbulence.
Except for turbulence. That's a killer.
Katt, thank you, man.
Thank you.
A big thanks to my guest, Katt Williams. Be sure to see him in Father Figures. It's out December 22nd, as well as his Netflix comedy special, due out January 16th of 2018. As always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. I'll see you next time.
Why do you pick San Francisco to shoot your special?
This is one of the best towns to ever do comedy, and this is the most historic venue you got as far as comedians are concerned, because Lenny Bruce ripped it down here. All the best came through the Bay. What about Richard? What about Robin Williams, Carlin, Mooney? You don't necessarily have to be the biggest star. As long as you come with it and people coming out, they like to see live performances because it's a savvy audience.
San Francisco, are you ready? I don't think we can hear you. Are you ready? Welcome to the stage.
Thank you all. Thank you for coming. God damn. I did it big this year. From cable, nigga, goddamn. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for making a nigga feel comfortable in the gayest place on earth. You guys got Disney World jealous out this motherfucker. Man, I didn't really think it was that gay at first. I was like, what is everybody? Because when I was coming out here, everyone was like, man, that place is really gay. I was like, what the fuck is everybody talking about? It's not so gay. And then I wandered into that Castro. God damn, I said, this is America's anus right here. This shit is deep. Went to that Tenderloin. It was nothing tender about that motherfucker at all. That shit was rough. The opposite of tender. I have never seen crack smoked so casually before. These niggas was sitting in front of Starbucks smoking crack and drinking coffee. I said, this is off the hook. Talking about politics. I seen one crackhead trying to break into somebody's car, man, and it struck a chord with me. I tried to stop him. I said, hey! And he looked back and saw me and said, oh, keep an eye out. I said, nigga, that was me that said that. I'm not trying to help you. I want this shit to stop. Crackheads are like that. I had a crackhead break my car window one time. Broke it! You know what he stole? Fucking candy bar I had lying on the seat. That's all he took. It's a goddamn candy bar. I was so mad. I drove around the neighborhood for 5 hours looking for a crackhead with chocolate on his face. I did that. I finally found when I grabbed that motherfucker and said, hey man, what's all this chocolate on your face, motherfucker? He looked confused. Chocolate? This is doo-doo, baby. I said, ah! Oh, man. This place is insane. But you know what I like about San Fran, and the reason I picked this city to do my special is because of all the major cities in America, somehow people get along here better than anywhere else I've seen in the country. That's right. That's right. And I always admired San Fran for that. And today I realized how you did it. Put all the niggas on the other side of that bridge. There's nothing, this shit ain't happy on that side. You leave San Francisco like, bye, thanks for coming to San Francisco. Come back in April, we're having a sale on Birkenstocks. As soon as you get to the other side, welcome to Oakland, bitch. Click, click. It's fucking crazy. But it also feel like it's an East Coast city in the West Coast. You guys got subways and shit. I'm scared of public transportation. I was on a bus that was held hostage 45 minutes. It wasn't life-threatening. I don't want to give you that impression. It was a dude jerking off, but the shit was scary, son. It was scary. It was right before it happened, I was on the bus smoking a cigarette. It's a long story. That's not the coolest shit I ever did. And people freaked out. Sir! Sir, put that goddamn cigarette out, okay? This is everybody's air, sir. I flicked it. I didn't want any trouble. And just at that moment, coincidentally, this homeless dude, out of nowhere, pulls his dick out, started beating off. And I was furious. Because nobody said shit to this guy. They were just looking like, oh my God. I was the only one on the bus that had the balls to say anything to him. And it's not even like I was brave, really. It was that, you know, I was sitting next to the motherfucker. I had to say something. Come on, dog, you hit my elbows. Stop. Son, just stop. That's all I said. I didn't want to say too much. The guy's beating off on the bus. It means there's something wrong with this motherfucker. He's not wrapped so tight. I didn't want to push him over the edge. As soon as I said something, all these dummies on the bus, now they're brave. He's right. Put your goddamn cock away. I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see it either. Yeah! Now the guy flips out. All right, everybody, back up. Back the fuck up. I tried to be nice about this. Now everybody freaks out. Oh my God, it's a biological attack. Oh. I'm caught in the middle. I can't lose my cool. I said, hey, everybody, just calm the fuck down or you're gonna get me shot. Let's all just be cool. Let's do what this man says so he'll leave us alone. Now everybody gets quiet. That's better. That is better. And then he started walking up and down the aisles. He was terrorizing us. And then he starts making demands. You in the pink shirt, squeeze your tits together. Oh God, no, no. You! Stick your finger in your butt! Why? Oh, God, why is this happening? Oh, God, oh, God. He was working my way. Shit was tight. Just that minute. I got saved, dudes. I was so lucky. This guy at the other end of the bus, he snapped. He lost his mind. I seen it happen. Ah! He screamed out, rush him! He can't come on all of us and charge him out. Ah! And it was like a movie. This homeless dude seen him coming and shot one off. Ah! I dodged that shit like the Matrix, niggas. Oh. The guy behind me wasn't so lucky, y'all. No! That shit was gross. It didn't kill him, but I'm sure that fucked his day up. You're not gonna have a normal day if the homeless dude busts a nut on your forehead and 8:30 in the morning. That's a wrap on the rest of the day. Ah! This guy was freaking out. It burns! Oh! 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 Everyone was standing around looking at him. Even the homeless dude felt bad. I guess he was finished. He came back to his senses. Oh, this is my stop. I said, relax, motherfucker. I had to say something. Relax. Oh, I can't. I got AIDS. I know it. I said, you can't get AIDS from a homeless dude busting a knot on your forehead. That's not how it spreads. I don't even know if that's just true. That's just what I told him, man. He was so scared I had to say something. I don't know where AIDS comes from. Who the fuck knows? Scientists don't even know. Scientists still say AIDS started because somebody had sex with a monkey. Word. After all this research, this is the best explanation that you came up with, mother. Nobody fucks monkeys and people, you idiot. You either fuck monkeys or you fuck people. That's it. There's no in between. You're not gonna get some monkey pussy on Tuesday and then be like, oh, let me call Charlene on Thursday. No. Once you fuck a monkey, that's a firm decision. I'm out of the human pussy game for good. It's ridiculous. You act like monkeys are just as open as waiting for people to fuck them, man. It's ridiculous. The monkeys don't want to be fucked by people. Think about it. Think how hard it would be to catch a monkey and fuck it. That's ridiculous. That's how it had to go down. Who you think you're just gonna walk up to him in the woods and bribe this nigga with fruits and bananas? Hey, buddy. Hey. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. There you go, your big, bright red ass. It's big, bright red booty. You know how strong a monkey is? Would rip your dick off like the celery stalk. Just throw that shit in the tall grass to never be seen again. Hey, dog, we gonna go to the club, pick up some girls. You trying to roll? Nah, man, I'm cool. I'ma stay home, dog. Chill with my monkey. You know how long it took me to train this monkey to suck my dick without peeling it? Last night, Chim Chim jerked me off with his feet, nigga. Only a monkey can show you that kind of love and tenderness. So y'all can keep fucking these people if you want, niggas. More monkey pussy for me. Hooking up with an orangutan next week. That's all I fuck is chimps and orangutans. You know who I feel real bad for is Indians. Everybody feels bad for Indians. They get dogged openly because everybody thinks they're dead. These motherfuckers are not all dead, all right? With my own eyes, I've seen a gathering of 1,500 Native Americans. They were all gathered in one place. The place is called Walmart in New Mexico. There's Indians everywhere. I'd never seen Indians before. I wasn't even sure if they were Indians. It's fucked up, but I asked one of them. It's not nice, but I seen him in the sports section looking at bows and arrows. I had to say something. Excuse me. I don't mean to be rude. Are you an Indian? And he was cool. Yes. Yes, I'm Indian. Still didn't believe him. I had to test him to be sure. This is fucked up. But I had a gum wrapper in my pocket, so I balled that shit up and I threw it on the floor. And a single tear came out his eye. I said, oh, shit. I had so many questions. So what tribe are you from? I am a Navajo. I said, word. I studied you in social studies. You're a hunter-gatherer, correct? He said, I guess so. That's what you wish to call it. I said, why? What do you call it? He said, I am an alcoholic. I said, well, what's your name, dog? He said, please. Dog is my cousin. That was a good guess. My name is Running Coyote. What is your name, friend? And that shit caught me off guard. I mean, I didn't want to say my name was Dave to a motherfucker named Running Coyote. This don't feel good enough. He just put me on the spot. I said, huh? My name, what? Oh, my name's Blackfeet. Then I changed the subject. Forget about me. What's going on with you? I want to meet your chief. Why don't me, you, and your chief and your friends get together tonight? We could have a real live peace pipe smoking ritual. We need to celebrate, nigga. I thought you were dead. And he set it up. It was beautiful. It was just like I dreamed. We was all sitting around. Them Indians was beating the drum. Some other Indians came out the back with a long blanket that was folded in half and put it in front of us. Open that shit up, and on the blanket was a long wooden pipe with feathers. And bags of weed were all over the blanket. Chief walked over.
Chimo, mabaminda na usawidi gozo, iye buya limbe, kumba na usawidi gozo. How about yeah? Something is killing me slowly, and I'm feeling so lonely. But this thing I must to talk yeah. All my people, they for bush, oh.